Hey guys, it's Matthew here once again, and sorry for being a bit missing in action. There hasn't been too much worth making a video about for the past week or so. Just been playing the Gauntlet. First few days I was a kind of a rolling Magma Inquisitor, and then once I hit level 90 I swapped over to an Occultist using Impending, Doom and Vixens to make a Doom Blast sort of build. That character got to 85, and then I started playing the Diablo 2 season, which just came out, which just gave a fresh new season and a few new rune words, and I do enjoy some Diablo 2, so there's not much to say about that for a video or anything either. So I will just catalog my Gauntlet experience this time around, and this is the character I started on. The idea was to go something like a rolling Magma spell slinger or self-cast build, but as I was building it and leveling up, I was leveling up as pure, not really ignite to begin with, just hit base and non-crit using elemental overload, just scaling some defense and a little bit of cast speed and damage. It started to feel pretty just comfortable to do that, so I leaned more into non-crit and then building a bit more defense, because that's just what the Gauntlet really kind of needs if you're going to have a comfortable time playing it. So I built a bit more defense with just Determ, Vitality, Tempest Shield, and Glancing Blow, block cap. So I then didn't really have too much left over to make much of a damage attempt, and it just turned into a bit of an ignite build. So as you can see, it's a single rolling magma ball, and you just toss it out, and with some prolif it basically ignites everything, and it did well for what it is. It's super low damage, like, I don't know, a few 100,000 on the ignite, but for mid-tier maps to get to level 90 it served its purpose, and it feels like a pretty reliable little starter, considering everything in the Gauntlet hits a lot harder and is faster, meaning you got to build more defensive, and then there's also a big damage reduction penalty on the enemies, means that the build would otherwise be, performing quite a bit nicer were it not on Gauntlet. But it is a very mediocre small scale build that was only really designed to try and get to level 90, just get to like red tier maps. I end up doing a few tier 12s, something like that, and it's okay, but the single target just starts to fall off big time. It's not much of anything really, just something to get us through. Didn't want to go too meta as always, and this was the result. So not really much else to say there. Did pick up some Vixen's gloves, and I was using them on that character just to drop 2 curses at once, but then I decided I had enough time to still make another character and get it almost to level 90. It's level 85 right now, and I'll probably push for a couple hours to see if I can hit 90 in the last little bit of the Gauntlet. But it is Impending Doom Blast using the Vixen's gloves, and it's an Occultist. So this is one of the most popular styles of build this league, if you've yet to see anything like that. It is just using the Doom Blast situation where a damage is triggered when a certain curse attached is expired on the enemy. So the idea is you attach a curse to your Doom Blast, you scale it however you want, whether just crit and hit or poison base, and then use Vixens to cast a bunch of other curses every single time you use your curse, and when the curses fall off or get overwritten, then the triggers go off, and you use Cascade with it and try and get overlaps on your hits. And it's the main reason that Awakened Spell Cascade is super expensive this league, because it really pays to have those extra couple of casts for the overlap, especially amplifying your damage quite a lot. So the build in turn becomes one of the faster clearing builds out there, one of the most safer ones, and it still has a decent single target damage, so that's why it ends up being pretty expensive. I haven't really looked at anyone else's version of the builds, but I'm told they're insane, and there's very much some large action happening with these builds, and some of the favorite gameplay people have ever had with them. So Don't know if it's going to stick around. A lot of people think that this type of interaction is going to be nerfed for whatever reason, but it seems okay to me. Like, it's pretty fun. It's not necessarily too overpowered, but it is very strong for clear, and it does really allow you to build highly defensively. So this character is running Grace, Determination, Defiance Banner, all that usual jazz, and a lot of the tree is diverted to just quality of life, and building the character to be comfortable and thick, as opposed to just getting pure damage. So on a softcore situation, you get a lot more damage, of course, but on a Gauntlet, we just build decent enough defense and then enough damage to get things mildly done, and it is pretty strong. I chose Occultist because there wasn't too much happening on the ladder at the time for that, but I think other people have been playing like Pathfinder, maybe some crit-based stuff as well. Occultist, however, does have explosions, and that does feel pretty good. So there's not really too much to say about that. I'll just log in and show you guys real quick how I built the character, but it's probably best to go looking for some really large build guides that other people have made for this type of build. So here we are, level 85, Impending Disperge, Occultist. So as you guys probably know, Gauntlet not my favorite thing. It's kind of where creativity goes to die, because you have to deal with these sorts of mods all the time. Worse than this, even once you get into like actual maps and yellow maps, you get 2 additional proj, more area, more damage, all of that. So you basically have to do a pretty stock standard generic setup of defense, and then use whatever strongest, most meta shit is out there at the time. I did happen to find these Vixen gloves, and I was using them on my previous character to apply 2 curses at once, and as an additional curse. And everyone's like, oh, but you got to do the Impending Doom build. And I wasn't planning on making a second character by any means, but I felt I still had it in me to give it a shot, and I wasn't going to play one of the most meta builds and types on just regular trade league. So I figured I'd make a little scuffed version here. So you got Doom Blast, trigger Doom Blast when a hex from supported curse skill ends. So reapplying a curse, basically having it, knocked off, then triggers the Doom Blast, and it's attached to Spell Cascade. So you're basically just shitting out all kinds of curses when you're using this, because what you have to do is curse with your temp chains or whatever's linked over here, have punishment as one of the curses that's going to get just consumed and knocked off, I think, Enfeeble, Despair, Spell Cascade. So we're casting all of that at once, and yeah, it turns into this mess of stuff. We do have one additional curse to facilitate the interaction for all the 3 of the curses that we care about: Enfeeble, Despair, and Temp Chains. And then you can scale some curse effect as well, because you're using all of those curses, and since we're poison build, Temp Chains becomes quite powerful as well. So the link setup at the moment is Impending Doom, Cruelty, Spell Cascade, Void Manipulation, Unbound Ailments, and Temp Chains. And then over here is Punishment, Enfeeble, Despair, Spell Cascade, and the order of what you do here does matter. The rest of the gear is, just life, resists, the usual stuff, a Chaos Stop multi-wand with a bit of cast speed, life resists, armor, life resists, etc. It's basically what you do on Gauntlet. So we're running Grace, Determination. It is kind of tough to get enough poison chance for the sort of thing, so it's a lot easier on trade servers and stuff. You can get an Alt Qual, Herald of Agony for more poison chance, but there's just 20 coming from that. Currently, these are my defenses, just without flasks, but with flasks, lots of armor, lots of evasion. Capped res, really capped Chaos res, and also capped spell suppress chance. The biggest flaw in my defenses is recovery, so like regen, leech, that sort of thing. Basically just some on-kill effect, and try not to die otherwise. So the tree itself is just an Occultist start, picks up some curse stuff, Eldritch Battery, because it is a pretty hefty mana cost, honestly, to get through this, since you're slamming all of these curses all the time. That's my 1000 ES, and I've got decent recovery on it, and you still will be potentially running out occasionally. Spell Suppress cap. We've got a wasted point here at the moment because I'm supposed to be going up this way for my next few points, so don't worry about the efficiency of the tree. And then, yeah, just poison, suppress. It's basically just a sort of defensive tree to get things done on Gauntlet. Other than that, not sure if I really need to mention anything. Wither Totem, just to get Wither stacks up quicker, Shield Charge, Molten Shell, Divine Blessing, Malevolence, so just popping Malevolence every now and again too. Term, Grace, Plague Bearer, Herald of Agony, and that is just pretty small scale, quick little build we put together. Like I said, there's much bigger examples out there. If you care about playing an Impending Doom character, then see to looking into those. This is just what I could slap together using what I had and using on Gauntlet, basically. So, not sure if when I'll have another YouTube video, because nothing's really happening at the moment, but might get new build started soon, PoE, maybe not. Maybe I'll play some more D2 and then D3 season as it starts, because that might be fun. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have been having fun with Gauntlet or whatever else you're playing. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys next time.